say a very big thank you for um, everybody that have come online. I also want to appreciate those who were also available at yesterday's live program. I don't take this for granted. I want to say a very, very big, thank you to everybody that have been following us. Sorry, we're starting way, way late. It's not our practice, but it's just, the situation of things in Nigeria. So I want to say I'm apologizing. So if you're on this live session, do well to let us know. So today we are going to be discussing something that is very, very important, something that will save a lot. And this is one of the reasons why on today's show, I want to say a very big once again, I apologize. I'm starting with the schedule. We're supposed to start this video, everything safeguard, the interest of our real estate of our real estate investors. The business of real estate has gone beyond just selling properties now. The business of real estate has yes, it has gotten to a stage whereby you need somebody who has the financial and of course the legal representative to protect you because they've been in continuous cases of exploitation, in this our industry. So, and that is one of the reasons why I said that when you're doing real estate, real estate has gone beyond just you saying it. Real estate has gotten to a stage whereby you need an able and a strong person, okay, to do that. So we're going to be talking about the importance of due diligence in real estate if you are investing. A lot of people who have invested have different stories to share, and it's quite sad because so many things are happening beneath and underneath the scene, and a whole lot of people are not aware that things um, that can be avoided. Sorry, I'm actually trying to share the link of today so that we can have people join. Most people are anticipating that we're going to have this for 3 o'clock. So sorry, this is almost 4 o'clock, but we're having it as that's it. So it's great. So let's talk about um, the importance of due diligence when investing in the Lagos State real estate market and what you need to do. Okay, what you need to do. Please, apologies. Just give me some minutes. All right. So, for some of real estate investors, for people who um, have had their own fair share of real estate, everybody will agree with the fact that due diligence is the process of purchase is not the most important. The process of purchase is obviously not the most important. Anybody can purchase a property. Anybody can purchase a property. Anybody can be involved in anything. But the most important, basically, is what happened after the purchase. A lot of things are going on under the scene, and a lot of real estate investors don't understand um, what they need to do things very, very rightly. And for some of us who have been in this industry for quite some time, I can categorically tell you that things are not always what they seem. More importantly, if you are investing in Lagos. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking extensively on due diligence, and the emphasis is going to be on different aspects of due diligence. So I have a podcast, and I'm just going to do a review, and of course, add more information to what I've really, really, shared with some of my people. So if you're on this live session, trust me, you're at the right place. And the aim of this basically is not to discourage you from investing, but the aim of today's live session is to ensure that any investment you are doing, you are following the right procedures. And the essence of this is to ensure that after investing and you're anticipating that this should be your return on investment, there won't be issues. So it's very critical that we discuss this extensively so that we can call the attention of well many, because you see a lot of people still have the vision of investing back home. Okay, a lot of people still have the intention of investing back home, and a lot of things are definitely happening in this our industry. And if you are not fully aware, you will be thinking that everything is like a bed of roses. No, it's not. So, and that is why on today's episode, I'm going to be talking extensively on why due diligence is very important. So, if you're on this live session, I want to welcome you. Okay, you are in for a very nice and of course educative session today. And I also want to quickly state here basically that every information that we're going to be sharing today is going to be worth it. I can assure you. So let's go to the topic without wasting further time. Now, when we talk about due diligence, when we first started out in real estate, I think I explained in one of my previous videos, it was very important for us to do due diligence, do of what we're buying. It didn't occur to us, so we fell victim, and even I myself making this live video was a victim of manipulations. Okay, and that happened basically due to the fact that when we started newly, a whole lot of things were not obvious to us, so we did not see things the way they are now. So but I can tell you vividly now that we know better, and experiences has shown us basically that it is very important to investigate thoroughly and ensure basically that you are doing the right thing. More importantly, if you are investing in Lagos. So let's talk about it. Why do I need to investigate the product before I purchase? Why do I need to emphasize solely on due diligence before I buy real estate? Now, the first thing I need to tell you, real estate investors, basically is due to the fact that the industry is saturated. And the second thing I also need to tell you, real estate investor, is that there is no regulatory body that is controlling the activities of real estate developers in Lagos, Nigeria. Meaning that somebody can sell a property to you, and tomorrow he just wakes up, he can decide to cancel an existing contract over failure to do one or two things. Somebody can say, okay, I want to sell a house to you, and maybe you are close to the process of rounding up that transaction, and it is the price I want to sell. Failure for you to comply with this price, I will return your money. The situation is so disheartening to the point that I've seen a lot of real estate developer collect money, okay, hard-earned money from people's efforts. And what they do, with investment is very, what they do with your money that you think you have invested in their project is very disheartening. And there is obviously there is no justification to the point that a lot of people are losing money almost every day to fraudulent real estate activities in Nigeria. Now, let me quickly reiterate the fact that I'm not saying all real estate developers are all fraudulent. No. I'm saying that in the existing industry where we have people practicing real estate, there are still some people who are practicing real estate whose main aim or main goal is to defraud you, okay, of your hard-earned money. And the system, the legal system, is so porous to the point that if you decide, okay, to take them to court or report them to some relevant agencies, it becomes more or less like a circus where you keep running and you don't get to see the end of the race. So, and the reason why I'm saying this basically is that if we don't carefully, okay, analyze and explain these things to real estate investors very well. May you not find yourself in a situation whereby this becomes your situation or your stories. These are critical things that we need lives, in as much as fact that there is opportunities in the Lagos State real estate market, in as much as the fact that the best destination for real estate investment is Lagos. We also need to reiterate the fact that there are still some bad eggs out of the focused, hardworking, and honest real estate developers in Lagos, Nigeria. So we really need to quickly analyze this. So let's quickly talk about the importance. Number one is that if you do a thorough due diligence, you are saving yourself the stress of getting duped. You're saving yourself of having sleepless nights, and you're saving yourself of having an issues or different issues that can be avoided. Like I said at the commencement of this video, I explained very well to real estate investors that the industry is saturated, and the process of setting up a real estate development company in Lagos or in Nigeria as a whole is the most simplest. All you need to do is get your CAC, get your bank account, or set up a current or whatever bank account, and if you can negotiate with some omonile, you can have properties, you can do your own signboard, you can come on social media and advertise to people, do a lot of things, get attention. And then because of the fact that the industry is saturated, it has become almost impossible, okay, for government and other relevant regulatory bodies, okay, to track and control the activities of real estate developers. But my emphasis will be in Lagos. Now, the reason why I'm saying this basically is due to the fact that for some of people who might be watching this video who are victims of fraudulent real estate practices, many of them will attest to this fact that most of these circumstances and issues that is going on basically did not appear obvious even at stage, okay, of that property transaction. And this basically is, I'm going to be talking about the importance today. Emphasis will be on the importance today. By God's grace, if I can come here on Sunday, I'm also going to be talking extensively on the types of due diligence you should do and before you buy property. So the topic is so broad, and I would not want to lump everything together today. So I'm going to be talking about the importance, and I'll be giving life experiences, either from people who might have had a similar situation or who might have horrible situations. So today's topic is going to be very, very enlightening. It's going to be very, very extensive, and of course, it's going to be very, very broad, because I'm going to touch around most of the things that real estate investors, and of course, I'll be highlighting some of the fraudulent practices that we have been able to uncover in our process of trying to verify and authenticate the validity of a property that was being marketed to some of our real estate investors, more importantly those who are in diaspora. So let's quickly talk about it. So what are the importance? The very first thing I would say, basically, when you are buying real estate in Lagos, Nigeria, basically is that let me start by saying this: they are bad eggs. They are people with ulterior motives. They are people with evil agenda. They are people with criminal records, whose intention is to exploit hardworking and meaning hardworking Nigerians, people who are probably in Nigeria or people who are in diaspora. Now, because of the fact that there is no, I would say, there is no there is no enlightenment. Okay, a lot of these guys have collected millions. In fact, when you look at the cases of the fraudulent real estate cases that were recorded only in 2023, according to the statistic, it was we recorded closely to almost 4 point something billion of real estate fraud in Lagos alone. Yes, over 4 point something billion in Lagos alone. So you definitely want to carefully examine what could be the issues. And let's go to the important. The first thing due diligence will do to you basically is that a thorough due diligence will open you to the possibility of projects being abandoned. Now, when I was talking about the issue of due diligence, a lot of people have said due diligence is just for me to check the property documents and just pay if the property is okay. Yes, when the industry started newly and we did not have, increasing cases of similarity of issues like this, yes, due diligence mostly is limited to just, checking. But from different circumstances, different things that have happened in time past, we found out that it's even more than that now. It's way more than that now. So due diligence is, yes, number one, checking the authenticity of the land to find out if it is free from government acquisition and the likes. But it exceeds that point as I'm talking to you right now. It exceeds that. Number two, due diligence also helps you to understand the records of what the real estate developers have done. The thing basically is that in Nigeria, a lot of people are very scared of coming out to share, their experiences or their awful experiences with some real estate development companies. And I really don't understand. The reason why I'm coming out or why I'm making this video basically is that even as a real estate investor, as a realtor, we have gone through some things that if we don't talk and people fall into it, even God in heaven will not, be happy, because we can call people attention to this and help them avoid horrible experiences. So due diligence, number one, helps you to avoid real estate transaction that will give you sleepless nights. Number two, it helps you to avoid fraudulent real estate investment. Number three, it helps you to understand the nature and of course the concept of real estate development as portrayed by the real estate company. Number three, due diligence helps you to understand the various loopholes, are we together, that are in the industries. And these loopholes, okay, once it is unraveled, you will have a thorough understanding of what you are getting yourself involved into. So we really need to talk about that. And a good due diligence will also help you understand the developer's past record of, number one, delivery. Number two, cases of let's say if there are issues of fraud and the like. So due diligence, even it does more that all I can say here today. So it's very important. Now I'm going to be giving a life experience. There was a particular time, okay, where Ibejuleki was the talk of the town, because when you understand the concept of development, you will realize that development is in phases. When we talk about phases, there was a particular time in the history of real estate investments where the talk of the town was the Odeomi, okay, the Folu, the Igbogun, okay, the Foluise, the Ikegun, the Medu, the La Campagne Tropicana, where the areas that was boiling in the Lagos State real estate market as at that time were the talk of the town. Now, when government began to enforce, okay, some regulations, some safety regulations, and the government began to enforce, the developmental plans that they have for those regions, government project began to expose, okay, the true nature of some of the nature of the investment. Okay, so I also have properties there that today I'm not sure if they are if they are safe anymore. Then when some real estate developers found out that their strategy and their event has casted in this axis, okay, many of them who made good amount of money started the off-plan market, started a lot of things, and they were able to recoup. Now, for those who could not get, maximize the opportunities there, then Ekpe became, attention was now shifted to Ekpe, and a lot of developers, some started with Buka, some started with Araga, some started with Iragushi, many went to Igbunla, many went to, let me start mentioning those places. Then where that place, when the place also became saturated, are we together? Then they shifted gear to the K2 axis, the K2 Ekpe, the K2 Tokin, the K2 Korodu, and to an extent, people are still buying, and selling properties within those axes even till to date. So I'm giving a brief history of personal records of what has happened in this region. Now, as recently, okay, the Lagos state government came up with some basic regulations, and I love the fact that the ministry or the man that was in charge, I can't remember his name. Maybe I will, once I remember his name, I'll drop it in the comment section so that you guys can watch the video that was made on channels. And of course, the news was that government was clamping down illegal estates in Ekpe, though that particular statement was misunderstood by what was said, and a lot of people came online and said that was not what they meant. They were misunderstood. A lot of things happened, blah blah blah. But if you have drove past that region now, you will find out that half of the real estate development that we have immediately after the K2 Ekpe axis, half of those projects have been demolished. And what is happening basically was government said, if you want to practice real estate, you must do it right. What did they request for? Number one, before you can do construction, you must obtain the necessary permits. Do you understand? So there was a place for the fencing permit, there was a place for layout approval and several other permits. It was quite unfortunate that despite the fact that some real estate development companies made millions, hundreds of millions in selling some of these places to diasporan like you. So if you're a diasporan investor, share this video, okay? Share this broadcast. Let this thing go round, because the reason why I'm making this is that a lot of people are still making the same investment mistake. So if you are really, then of course, if you have questions, you can drop your question on the comment section. Okay, if you have our number, you can send it to me on WhatsApp. Okay, I'll be so delighted to respond to as many that I may be able to today. So it was quite unfortunate that despite the fact that some development companies, okay, made millions, hundreds of millions selling the K2, selling the Ekpe, selling the Igbunla, selling other parts of those regions to real estate investors, it was disheartening and surprising to find out that most of these guys did not even have all the necessary ordinary fencing permits. Most of these people did not get. So what exactly is the situation? You see, when I was talking about due diligence, even in this our years of experience, we found out that we can't stress, the importance of having people understand what they are getting themselves into. And that's why sometimes I made a video where I was talking about why you make terrible real estate investment decisions. If you're on this live and you have not seen this video, at your leisure time, please go and watch that video. Watch that video. A lot was said in that video, and you're going to get a whole lot in terms of experience. So Right now, government has clamped down um, some estates in Ekpe, and according to our sources and investigation, when things like this happen, we launch all out, okay, to check. And of course, the reason why we're doing this basically is that so that we can be in a better position to guide you. See, when we explain some of these things to you real estate investors, many of you don't understand that in real estate first in Nigeria is a business before it became a service, and before you can get satisfaction based on what has been done. I've said this before. I have a video where I talked about understanding the business of real estate. You see, there's a lot that has been reviewed. Now, the essence of this video basically is not aimed at discouraging you from investing. No, we really need to make a thorough analysis and an assessment for you to understand that this is not a hate comment, it's not a fight against real estate developers. This is just uncovering the way things are. More importantly, if you are doing investment. So these are some of the things. So it was shocking to find out that despite the fact that top real estate companies made hundreds of millions, many of them did not have ordinary fencing permits. Many of them did not even have the required documents to even start or do the necessary thing that is required. So the regulation that was enforced by Lagos State government began to expose the situation of things. And I foresaw this, and for some of people who actually worked with us, you will understand basically that I mentioned this when I had the opportunity to do so, and I'll keep saying it for as many that cares to listen. So that is the essence of due diligence. So it has gone beyond those sophisticated oratory, those aesthetic, monumental things, the gatehouse, the fencing. It is very important that if you are investing in Lagos, it is very crucial for you to understand that, is my investment safe? Now, your investment being safe, okay, is not now dependent on what the video orator is saying, or what the real estate developer has promised, or what other people are saying. The safety, okay, of your investment is now solely dependent, okay, on the status of the house or the landed property. And this is where now there are different phases of due diligence. Let me quickly say this. There are different phases of due diligence. There is the okay, I was supposed to say this in my subsequent video, so I'll just give you I'll say a brief of some of the things I'm saying. The first phase basically is a phase whereby you just investigate. The second phase is when you do community due diligence. There's a lot. So this is one of the reasons why basically if you're investing in Lagos, you need more than a realtor. You need an investigative or you need a professional who knows the industry in and out. You need somebody who is experienced. You need somebody who can uncover, even if the person did not get to make that recommendations. Because you see, if you don't understand the situation of things, you will keep dashing real estate developers money, thinking that you are buying properties. No, in fact, it's quite sad that if you see what some of these bad eggs, okay, these fraudulent guys are doing with your money, what some of them spend in club, what they do, for a real estate investor, you guys may not know, the situation of things, and you may be thinking you have an investment. Meanwhile, the person you have trusted your investment to is sometimes lavishing your money, throwing your money up the thin air, and that's why sometimes many of them struggle to do the needed thing that is required. Because you see, in Lagos, it's not just buying. If it is buying properties, anybody that have the resources can. It's not just buying. You see, maintaining or securing what you have bought is very important. Is as important. In fact, I will not deal, okay, with a real estate developer who finds it extremely difficult to secure what they've sold to me. And that is where a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people just say, I've bought, I can go and sleep. I can. No, no, no. If you are doing that, you are probably repeating, the different circles of mistakes and errors that you have been doing, and these things may be costing you your money and your investment. So it's not about buying, okay? It's about buying from someone who can secure and protect what they have sold to you. That is what due diligence reveals. That is what due diligence is. So if you have dealt, see, oftentimes I've said it's times without numbers that if it is about buying, if it's just for me to buy, that means I can just team up with somebody. We go and meet Omonile. Do you understand? We negotiate with them. We sell. We do flyers. We do jingles. We come to YouTube. We come to Facebook. Come to Instagram. We come to all those social media to buy. But if you are dealing in Lagos, you need to deal with a developer who has the resources to protect what they have sold to you. It is very important, and I'm going to keep stressing this. It's not just about buying. You need to buy from someone that can safeguard what has been sold to you. These things are very critical. If you see what is happening in Fulu right now, you will shed tears for people who have worked so hard to buy land there. If you see what is happening at Igbogun, you will shed tears to see what is happening. And the funny thing is that most of these guys that have sold are still active in the industry. The thing basically is that I find it extremely difficult for people not to have conscience. Like, I was asking, how do these guys sleep at night? Like, you have sold estates. Right now, there's a coastal road. It has eaten this up. And you are praying that they will not find out. Like, how? So, you really need to understand this. Okay, so the first thing is that if I'm to help you secure real estate, I just don't go. And that's why sometimes, if the reason why you want to buy is because of price, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. The moment I sense danger from what is about to be sold to you, you don't necessarily have to buy it through us, through our agencies, because the thing is that if you bought and there are issues, we don't want a situation whereby we will be, they'll start playing us, because most of these guys, they play games. They are intelligent people. They are smart. They know how to, turn you upside down. So basically, you really want to put this into consideration. But it's not about the purchase. It's about securing what they've sold. It's about maximizing that place, and it's about ensuring that after several projects that government is doing, your property is still there. That is what due diligence will reveal, okay, to you the nature of things. So that's what we do when we are making recommendations. And these things, I obviously cannot stress it enough, but that is the true situation of things, and that is the truth. So what must you now do going forward? Now, let me quickly reiterate this fact that I am not saying that you should not invest in Lagos. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you should not buy property. In my yesterday's video, I said the best place, okay, to invest, apart from other states, still remains Lagos. I'm not saying investment in Ibadan is not profitable. Yes, it is. It depends on where you bought and whom you bought from. I have to say this. If you are going to other states like the Asaba and all those friends, it's also dependent on where you bought and whom you bought. Because you see, you cannot separate the ideology of a developer based on what he believes on what development should be. You see, the ideology and the concept of development of the person that has sold to you is as important as the property you are buying from the first place. When you go to some places in Ibejuleke today, you will shed tears, and sometimes you look at the scenario and you say, and most of these people that bought did not even know that this is actually the true situation of things. And this is where the question of integrity comes to play. See, these are some of those things. So for that's what due diligence doesn't just tell you about the title, which is important. Okay, due diligence tells you the location. Due diligence tells you the the projects that may be coming to that axis. Due diligence expose to you the risk and the opportunity. You know, a lot of people buy looking only at the opportunities, and they are ignoring the risks. And these are some of the reasons why these things cost people a lot. So that's what due diligence does. So due diligence explains to you, okay, even if the person you have bought from have, on the final note, okay, because I wanted this to just be 1 hour, so that people will be watching after this will not have to stay longer. On the final note, basically, when you are buying properties in Lagos, I would say this, because of some of the development we have seen, because of some of the things we have experienced, don't let me even say seen, the things we have experienced, I can tell you basically that whom you are buying from is very important. Whom you are buying from is very important. So this is now based on the fact whether the person, of course, I've seen instances whereby some top real estate companies say, okay, fine, let us do maybe Ember promo, December promo, Ileya promo, and the likes, blah blah blah. And of course, these are times whereby the real estate development company may want to make his property affordable just for you to have it, okay, regardless of the promo, okay, that is being advertised to you. You need to prioritize the brand. So don't make your decision based on how cheap this is, how affordable this is. Make your decision based on the developer's reputation. So you obviously want to look at this, and these things are very, very important, so that you will not be repeating the same circle of mistakes and errors. So these are some of the things that I'll be discussing today. So in my next video, I'm going to be explaining the different types of due diligence and how they can be done. I'm going to be explaining it. I'm going to be talking about the different types of due diligence and how they can be done. Today is Thursday. Of course, I'll be somewhere by God's grace by tomorrow, so I won't be having this live session tomorrow. That was why I decided to come online today. Okay, we're going to be discussing that by God's grace either Sunday or next week. Of course, I'm going to. So this is why you have to stick to this channel. This is why you have to subscribe. This is why you have to share this video. We've seen a lot. We've had pleasant and unpleasant experiences, and I can tell you that the experiences sometimes, if you fall into the wrong hands, Jesus, it's not always pleasant. So some realtors today are shuttling between different police stations and the likes. Some are shuttling from different court cases and the likes. Some are having some brands, okay, have been damaged beyond repair. Some people, some realtors today are in a total regret that if I had known, or if all these signs were obvious, from the very first instance of conversations, this would have been, most of you may not know, and the I die know situation can be so painful, because the thing is that when it is time for you to get your money, when you find out that a real estate transaction has gone wrong and it's time for the developer to repay you, you see, the process of repayment is even the most hardest part of all. So it's all these things are things that if you have done your due diligence, it would have been reviewed, okay, even from the first instance. And these are some of the things that it is very important we address, even as we, okay, talk more or extensively on this. They are very, very critical, very, very important, that we look into this and we analyze this very well, so that in any form of transaction you want to get yourself involved to, you will definitely put them into consideration as we go further. So at this junction, okay, this is 4:36. I still have some amount of minutes, so I'll be taking questions um very quickly. I have some questions here already. Even from yesterday's video, I had several questions that was sent to me. Once again, I want to apologize for starting this late. We're supposed to have this thing 3 p.m. I know a lot of people were waiting for me 3 p.m., but I had so many engagements, and the reason why I'm even having this live video is because of the fact that I don't want to disappoint you, my real estate enthusiasts. So apologies. So let's take questions. Okay, so this first question says, you talked about Folu. What exactly is happening in Folu? Okay, all right. See, whether I choose to say it or I choose not to say it, the coastal road construction has cut across Folu, and I would say, though I'm not a surveyor, so I may not be able to give the exact number of properties that this coastal road have have affected, but there have been several losses of estate in Fulu. So if you have invested there and you want to be certain that your investment is not affected, I would advise you send a representative to go and check. So that's the situation of Fulu. Okay, so this is this. Okay, so the next question says, how can I unravel a fraudulent developer? This one is like Wayeko. All right. Well, I've actually talked extensively on some signs. Okay. I have a video on this, so I would advise where I talked about costly investment errors. Okay. I will put that video link on the comment section, because I will not be answering questions that I have answered in some of my videos. So just at your leisure time, I'm going to share that video link with you so that you can check it. So but how you can avoid basically is that if your real estate representative is vast, when it comes to real estate investment, there are those who just jump into it because they perceive the industry to be filled of opportunities, and this is not to undermine the effort of hardworking real estate investors or real estate realtors. I'm not undermining this, but some of these problems would have been avoided if some of the real estate practitioners were experienced. Do you understand some of these things? Now, any issue can come up. Do you understand? I'm not saying you cannot buy properties and there are issues. Okay. Now, but when issues come up, how experienced is your realtor that may be able to respond appropriately to the way the matters should be? So the expertise, the experience of your realtor is very critical, because when you are doing real estate investment, you cannot rule out the possibility that there won't be one or two issues similar to this. So you really want to look at that and then put that into consideration whenever you are making or you are investing. Who you are investing through is very important. The financial capability, the experience, the legal team, the inspection team, people who can do an extensive, and the reason why some of these people get into trouble is due to the fact that many of them want to sell at all costs, and some of these real estate developers understood basically that it's like a bait. Okay, they offer something mouth watering, they offer something that is irresistible for some of these realtors, and they do not know that this thing is like a trap to get them in a problem that they may not easily come out from. So you really want to look at that and carefully. I'm not defaming your realtor, I'm not undermining your realtor, but I'm just saying basically that an experienced realtor now will not be concerned about what he or she wants to get. They will be looking essentially on dealing with a developer that can protect and preserve the property that they are selling, because the truth must be told, not all real estate companies can do that. And if you know how challenging or some of the crises, that rocks the Lagos State real estate market, you will know basically that you need an experienced hand to handle your transaction. You definitely need. So it is not just you buy and everything ends there. Some unprecedented, things may happen even after purchase. But you see the experience, the strength, and of course the integrity of the company that sold is also critical. So you want to look at that as well. So I have another question. Would you is Eleko waterlogged? Okay. Well, it depends. It depends. Now, if you are going towards the Igondo Orudu aspect part of Eleko, where the coastal road construction is not going. In fact, even government, okay, that are even constructive. If you have seen the coastal road video, you would have seen that there've been some measures of sand filling in those areas. So Igondo Orudu is part of Eleko and is waterlogged, just sand filling. Put that in mind. If you are going towards the Magbon down, the only place that is 100% dry, okay, mostly is the Shirinwon. In fact, Shirinwon acts, but there are some places whereby once it rains in Shirinwon, there is some drops of water there. So, and of course, the reason why most of those waters are there is due to the fact that most of the developers that sold have not constructed drainages that can easily, okay, channel water to the appropriate places where they should go. So some part of Eleko, the Gondorudu is waterlogged. The beach side of it is dry, but the other part of where most of these estates are waterlogged. So you'll be doing some excessive sand filling. I hope that is not excessive. It depends on the topography of the land that is being sold, but not part of Eleko is dry. So it's like some parts are dry, some parts are wet. So that's it. So the next question says, what can I do if my if my property is affected by the coastal road? Okay. For some of us, okay, that for me, let me speak for myself. I jumped at the follow out aspect because it was cheap. To me, it did not occur, okay, that while I was purchasing that property, the excitement of the refinery, the excitement of the free trade zone, the deep sea port, made many of us invested. We invested not just because of the fact that then, let me also show you the fact, as at that time, we didn't have the body of knowledge that we have today. So it could happen to anybody. That's why I'm saying that when you are investing, anybody can make errors. So we jumped at those offers because they were irresistible, and let me also confess, they were ridiculously cheap. So imagine you just coming to Lagos like that, bam, and you bought a land. Some people even did buy 5 get 1 free. So if I'm to invest in a situation similar to that, what I would request for is an indemnity clause. An indemnity clause is a legal clause whereby the real estate developer is compelled, okay, to reallocate you, okay, to that property, to another property, if there are issues. I said it before that when every one of us jumped at it, it was not obvious to us that there was a coastal road there. So anybody could have been affected. And of course, it's also not an excuse, okay, for us to invest without doing our own personal due diligence. We know better now. So there are some things, there are some errors I will not repeat again if I'm investing in Lagos and if I'm investing in, developing locations like as such. So if you did not have an indemnity clause in your contract of sale, the chances of you getting, because the thing is that most of the real estate development companies that sold those places have even forgotten that they sold in the first place. We have to be very, very factual with ourselves. We have to be very, very truthful to ourselves. and that is the situation of things. There's really nothing to hide. So what you should do basically is that get in contact with your realtor. That is if your realtor is still available anyway, because most of those people don't even pick calls again. There was a situation of a diasporan I met, and it connected me to the realtor. And the moment I mentioned that estate name and the name of the man that bought, I was not the realtor. I was just trying to assist, the man to get information, because the investor was asking anytime I was going back. So I said, with the cost of fuel in Lagos, and I don't like demanding for transport fee from anybody. I don't do that. Okay. Though I think I'll start charging consultation fee now. That obviously is on a lighter note. So I told the man, okay, fine. Anytime I'm going there, he gave me the information of the place, gave me the documents. I said, okay, fine. That anytime I'm going there, okay, I will drive and see. Then if anything I found out, but I've not gone there after we had that conversation. So they called the realtor, and the moment I mentioned the estate, the realtor said, okay. The realtor said, okay, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back till date. Till date, the realtor has not called. So if there was an indemnity clause included in the contract of sale, in fact, if this sleepless night you are having, it will be the developer that will be having that sleepless night, because the clauses mandated, okay, that they reallocate you to another place. So your investment is guaranteed, is protected. So I would have, if I am to invest again in similar places, I would definitely, okay, um, include that going forward. So that is it. So what you should just do is get in contact with your realtor. But if you still have the number, and that is why sometimes it is also important that when you buy or when you're investing in Lagos, try as much as you can. Now, the reason why sometimes I really don't encourage the idea of you buying from a company you don't have direct contact of the owner. Uh, okay, if you are buying through us anyway, you don't need to have the number of the owner, because we deal directly with the owner, and we are here. So we take off that rigor, that stress off you. So these are things that we do only for the fact that we are not always appreciated. The moment the situation has been solved like this, man, you don't get to hear from people again. It is when they have, see, and that's why sometimes I've been able to turn my back against a lot of people. More importantly, people who I have, assisted in getting one or two in Lagos, and boom, they are off the air. So these are some of the things that we do. So if there is no indemnity clause on your contract of sale, going forward, if you are buying on title properties, more importantly in Lagos, demand for it. So that is how you can protect your investment. So the next question says, okay, I won't mention your name. You mention your name and then where you are. Okay, I know you're in the US. Thank you very much for following. Of course, a lot of people, like I said, if you are watching, do well to subscribe. Okay, let's get this nice. Okay, so let us continue. So I'm at the question and answer segment, so I'll be rounding off. Okay, next question says, who should I buy from them? Okay, what we do basically is to take this stress off you. Well, if a lot of people have said when you come online, you're marketing yourself. Well, the thing is, we know what you don't know. We have been to places where you have not. We know these people, we understand their principles, and we can easily unravel if there will be a problem. In a situations where you are bought and there is problem, we know what to do. So in some cases, I would say that we understand some of these things, and we know how to react or respond appropriately. And that's why sometimes I usually say that the moment is because we understand. So sometimes if some people to mess to mess up, they will definitely not find it funny. So these are some of the things we do. So you have to do, this is what it's that. Because sometimes the situation mostly is dependent on their principles, some of their observations and way they operate. So like I said, mostly when I'm doing my videos, evil is not always obvious from the onset. So that is why it is very important that you do a critical and just let the best hand handle your investments. Let the best hand handle your investment. If you can do that, I can assure you that you will minimize, your chances of making mistake to the barest minimum. Okay, so this person says, what are the other projects that you can recommend? Okay, well, that is dependent on what you are looking for. I'm not here to do, okay, that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Okay, so what I do basically is that I do a consultation with you. I hear what you are looking for, or sometimes we do an extensive interaction for us to know what you want to achieve. Because I've said it before that if you want to get the best out of the Lagos State real estate market, you have to have an investment goal. That, okay, fine, maybe by 2025 this is what I want to achieve, by 2024 this is what I want to achieve. So when we look at this, we have a consultation. Will that be in a better position to say, okay, this is what will help you actually achieve this or actualize it faster than you anticipated? Okay, so that's why sometimes in consultation I usually try as much as I can, okay, to listen to your demand, listen to your, so we can, because you see, we just can't say this is where we have properties. Like I said, if you have seen places or things that you like and you obviously want us to investigate, we do that as well. But basically what we do is that, okay, like for instance, we have a project in Abidjan GRA. The project is at 95% completion. That one, there is no risk. We have checked the title, we have checked the deed, we have checked everything. It has been satisfied. Now it's a 4-bedroom terrace duplex. Buy and move in. In fact, people start moving in by December. And of course, the thing is that what they just accept is just a 6-month payment plan. Now, in this economy, with the high rising cost of inflation, no developer will sell a 4-bedroom terrace, okay, for that price. But someone is selling for that price. So it shows how genuine it is. We have investigated it. Now, it's at Abidjan GRA. Some people's intention may be to go to some places, maybe further, because of their budget. So when we make recommendations of projects and things you can invest in, we do it in accordance to what you intend to achieve with that investment. So you might say, okay, this is land. I've seen instances whereby some people want to buy a land, then after consultation we find out that what they really need is a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment or a terrace. So, and I love the fact that I've interacted with some diaspora who are open and tell me, okay, this is what I don't know, this location, I don't know this, and we go further to explain, okay, this is what this location entails, these are the opportunities there, okay, these are the risks there. When we have interaction, we'll be in a better position to give recommendations based on your investment goal and decision. So this is where I'm going to draw today's curtain. I want to start by appreciating everybody that was on this live with us. And of course, if I have not been able to answer your questions, you can drop it on the comment section or you can send it to me personally. Our number is +234 0. Sorry, I said +234 802 +234 802 132 73 60 +234 802 132 73 60. So that's our number. You can send us a message on WhatsApp if you have inquiries. Of course, our time is very, very fast spent, and I don't want to keep people beyond this time. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that has followed us. If I'm going to have a live session maybe on Saturday and Sunday, please just subscribe to this channel so that when I drop an update, you'll be the first to see it. That's one of the benefits. Another thing is that encourage us by subscribing. Okay, encourage us. A lot of people are watching our video, and they're, of course, one of you can say you appreciate us is when you subscribe, when you share this video. You know what we are doing. Most channels don't do that. So one of you can say thank you, even if you are not buying properties from us yet. Okay, it's for you to subscribe. Thank you very much. Okay, if you see, for those who have further um inquiries, further questions, would respond to that. So our next video, or our next conversation, will be the different types of due diligence that you can do. Okay, how to unravel fraudulent practices. We're going to be talking about that in our next session. So I'm looking at the option of doing either a Saturday or a Sunday, but whichever day I decide, I'm going to drop the notice, okay, on this channel. Okay, so that's why you have to be here, so that you'll be part of us as we talk about that. So I believe you'll be able to find information, and all these things will help you. Once again, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that have joined us. For those who are coming in late, I think the next live session will be by 5 o'clock, because I've been monitoring the way things are. People started joining towards the end of this video, but for the good thing is that there's going to be a replay. You can watch it at your own convenient time. Thank you. Bye for now. God bless you.